Good morning, good morning. Welcome to In the Garden with Joyful Living. I am Kimberly Dixon. While we wait for a few people to join us, I'm going to go ahead and start showing you the garden, because I've got to get out of here and go get some things taken care of today. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into this. So I am really ecstatic about everything that's going on in the garden right now. Everything is producing lovely. This is the sweet banana pepper, and this is the traditional jalapeno pepper. And that one looks like it's ready, but you can really tell when a jalapeno is ready because it'll start getting little white lines in it, and you can see that this one is just beginning to get those. So I will pick that in the next day or so. This is the Fuji jalapeno pepper. Look at all of those peppers on there. If you're watching, say good morning so I know who's watching. But that's the Fuji variety. It has all the delicious flavor of a jalapeno without having the heat that's associated with it. Because as much as I love jalapenos, girl, can't eat them the way I used to. But the shining beauty of the garden this morning is this cherry tomato. It is turning into a bush. Good morning, Tara. A flat out bush. So you know that with traditional tomato plants, you want to pinch back the little suckers, which is the little stems that grow in between the branches. But on a cherry tomato, and the reason we do that is because on a traditional plant, those suckers only produce leaves, and we want the plant to put its energy into producing tomatoes instead of a bunch of leaves, because realistically it doesn't need all of those leaves after a certain point. But on a cherry tomato, the suckers actually will produce tomatoes, so you don't want to pinch the suckers off on a cherry tomato, and that is why this one is looking so out of control. Look at that plant. Completely crazy. But here's the Greek pepperoni. Good morning, Judy. And I'm really pleased with the Fuji jalapeno and this Greek pepperoncini and the red bell pepper, because I started these from seed in February. And some peppers take a while to produce. Bell peppers is one of those. But look at all of those peppers back there. And once those get a little bit bigger, I can use them as a green bell pepper, or let them stay on the plant until they turn red, and then use them as red bell peppers. But once they have some size to them, you can start going ahead and using them, which is great. This is one of my zucchini plants. I don't know. No, I'm going to say squash plants, because I don't know what variety it is. That's the strawberry plant back there. I'm sorry for somebody on Instagram is messaging me like crazy. I meant to turn my notifications off, so please forgive me. I love that strawberry plant, and it produces pretty well, but I don't get very many strawberries. The squirrels eat them. But look at all of the tomatoes on this Roma tomato plant. This thing is getting down. Only one has, good morning, Red. Only one has been picked so far. But look at all of those tomatoes back there. That's going to be some good eating right there. But I'll have plenty to give away. The squash table is looking kind of raggedy. All of this rain is just doing it in. That one back on the very back there, it's gone. But I haven't removed it because it still has the marigolds in it, are still alive, so it's still serving a purpose. This zucchini has had several babies on it. By babies, I mean small zucchinis, but they didn't get pollinated, so they withered and died like that one is doing there. It's shriveling up. But that one back there, that's going to be a big boy right there, so we're excited about that. We got beans in the process. These cucumbers, oh my poor cucumbers. All the rain they got a fungus, and you can see by all the leaves having the yellow spots on it that they're not doing too well. But I moved them out here in the middle of the floor to try to treat them, but to also not allow them to touch other plants because they will spread the fungus. So we put them in the middle of the floor. Oh, I didn't show you. I planted another thing of cucumbers. Now that's way too many cucumber plants for that pot. I planted a lot of seeds in case some of them didn't germinate. But what I'll do is pinch those back to about 2 plants so that I have cucumbers probably come September. That's a good thing about, even if my plants weren't diseased at this point, North Carolina has, Zone 7B has such a long growing season that some of the things that we started in the spring that are petering out now, that are finished producing, we can start another crop of them in July and have vegetables, stuff that matures in 50 to 60 days, 90 days, those kind of things. You wouldn't want to start a pepper now because they take too long to produce. But some of the other things like squash and zucchini and beans, you can plant them again in July so that you have a harvest coming in the fall, because we have such a pleasant fall. But I'm going to go ahead and start talking about our topic today. Well, let me thank our sponsors. Our sponsors are Love is a Parables, whose mission it is to start to share love awareness through love education and random acts of kindness. Blackology Coffee, whose mission it is to teach us how to enjoy a delicious cup of black coffee. And then our individual patrons of Carolyn Billups, Malcolm Dixon, and Valerie Dixon. So I wanted to, you see, today's topic is but today. So earlier this week, I was watching my morning prayer time with the praying CEOs, and the evangelist for the morning, Jocelyn McEldry, simply was talking, and she said, but today. And that thing hit me like a ton of bricks. Because so often we are focused on the past, what happened yesterday, what happened 10 minutes ago, still mad because somebody cut you off on the highway. We focus on what happened yesterday, the hurt, the trauma, the pain of yesterday. We're focused on the future, creating a legacy and our plans for vacation next year. And that's great. We need to do those things because you don't want to be caught off guard. You want to save. You want to make plans. You want to have goals. But in doing so, looking back at the past and looking forward to the future, we miss today. In a blink of an eye, your kids are adults, and you miss the wonderful moments, just those little random things that occurred on a day-to-day basis because you weren't present. They were an infant, but you were making plans for when they were going to walk and talk. They're a teenager, and you're preparing for college, so much so that you miss the moment that they're in today. We have to pause to enjoy a moment like listening to the birds call, sitting by the ocean and just watching the waves roll in and roll out. We have to take a moment to relish the time that we are in today. The definition of today simply means present. Are you being present in your life on a day-to-day basis? Tara, I know you are enjoying your woosah moments, and I actually come by to enjoy a woosah moment, and I'm coming again soon to enjoy some woosah moments in your backyard. The same thing that I do right here on my deck in the Joyful Living Garden is being present in the moment. You see the beauty that surrounds you. There is so much pain, chaos, and hurt in the world today that if we don't take those little moments, those little snatches of times to reset ourselves, push the reset button. This ain't Staples, but we gotta push the reset button to give us a moment to refocus, re-energize, and rejuvenate our mind, our bodies, our soul. Then we get burned out, overwhelmed, we're cranky. Because if I don't spend time outside, I'm a cranky little something. Tara Henry said, yes, vital to embrace moments by design. Yes, not just by... I enjoy doing things spontaneously, but taking time for yourself, that is something that you have to do by design. It's not going to happen haphazardly. So when you're making your schedules and your plans, and I do a to-do list on a daily basis, sometimes on my to-do list is take a nap. Sometimes it has sit in the butterfly garden for an extended... I'm in it every day, y'all, multiple times a day. But if I want to block off some designated time, then I put that time on my schedule, because otherwise it will get eaten up by duties. Good morning, Rayshawn. So, and then this present moment, time is our most valuable asset. This present moment, we're never going to get it back. We can't rewind the clock. We can't fast forward the clock. This present second, this moment right here, when it's gone, it's gone. It is our most valuable asset. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow isn't here yet. The word teaches us that the former things have passed away, and tomorrow will take care of itself. God says, give us this day our daily bread. Every day God is speaking to you through the Holy Spirit. He is going to feed you, and He's going to fill you if we stop long enough to be present. We miss so much of what the Holy Spirit does and says for us, and I rush to get things done for ourselves. When we are rushing around in traffic, when we are occupied and preoccupied with TV, good morning, Pamela, with TV and radio and other people, and overcommitting ourselves, we are running from one destination to the next, and never taking a moment to stop, to pause, to take in the things that are happening around you. I used to talk to my clients about when they went outside in the morning time to look up, because most of us, we're in the habit of, good morning, Carrie, we walk out the door, we get in our car, we do the commute to our job, but we never pause to look up. We may have looked up if it was raining, but I encouraged my clients that when they came out of the house in the morning to look up, to take in the beauty that is around you today. Good morning. Angela said, good morning. I needed to hear this morning. I have to make time for myself for sure. The stress at work is messing with my mentality. Absolutely. You have got to be intentional about taking care of you. Our mental health is so very precious, and we have to invest in it. We have to take the time to refill our cups, because the things that are going on in our families, in our personal lives, in the world, will quickly drain your cup. You've got to know how to refill it. Whether that's actually sitting and having a quiet cup of hot tea, or taking a hot bubble bath, spending some time reading, whatever that may be for you, because it's going to be an individual plan. There's not a fix-all, a one thing fixes it all for every person. But if you take that time to put yourself on your schedule, then you can be so much better for everyone else in your life. You can go on your job and not curse that person out that is really working your last nerve, or do something that's going to cause you to lose your job in a moment of stress. So we have to do those things that are going to nurture us, that are going to strengthen us, that are going to protect our mind. The world that we are living in right now is so stressful. Just pure chaos. There isn't a fragment of our world that isn't in chaos, between the pandemic, our government that is just fighting so much that we're getting very little done. This government is supposed to be for the people, by the people, but it's pretty much not accomplishing much of anything. But I want to encourage you to take today and commit to whatever you're doing to God today, because the word says in Proverbs 16:3, commit to God whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. Commit to God and he will set the roadmap for you. And then you will know you are working towards your purpose, and you're not running around frustrating yourself, wearing yourself down, feeling overwhelmed, stressed out, anxiety level on 1,000. If you commit to God, he will establish your plans. There's a song that says, every day is a brand new mercy. We forget that. So don't get so caught up in what happened yesterday, the pain, the abuse, whatever it may have been that happened to you in your past that is suffocating you in today. Don't allow your past to steal your today from you. And don't get so caught up in 10 years from now that you miss all the moments, all the beauty, all the smiles, all the giggles, all of those things that make life truly beautiful. Life is beautiful. And the one thing I always, if you've ever watched these broadcasts, you know I always say life is full of hardships, but it doesn't have to be hard. You get to make that decision. You get to decide what your life looks like. Are you going to be full of joy? Are you going to be full of woosah moments? Are you going to be choose positivity over negativity? You get to make that decision. So today, I want you to focus on but today. And as we go through this day, today, stay in the moment, stay present, and relish what today really means, because you'll never get it back, and tomorrow's not here yet. Guys, thank you for watching In the Garden with Joyful Living. I love you all so much. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.